Welcome back to Uncorked Crime. It's Amelia,
Kelly,
and Megan. And boy, do we have a story for you, because our morning was adventurous.
Yes, it was.
Yes. So, for those of you who don't know yet, our brother proposed to his girlfriend. She said yes.
Congratulations.
Woo! We get a sister.
Another
Yes.
one.
Yeah. So,
Sorry, John. You don't have a brother
he gets
yet.
a brother soon.
Oh yeah,
Yet,
yeah.
I said.
He gets his first brother.
This is
Big
so
news.
exciting. I don't know what are you trying to say.
monumental.
Did you just have a stroke? Jesus.
Okay, go on.
So we went to look at a venue with John and Kiana this morning, their first one.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the one. I think they're gonna pick it. It was really pretty. It was really
Yes.
cool.
And the guy was super nice.
Very
he
antique-y.
was. Yeah.
Old school.
Mm-hmm. And it has everything.
Vintage.
You basically just picture an entire house, and you get every floor to you yourself at
Yes.
the party. All
Well,
day
then they
long.
have like a ballroom added on.
Yeah.
But like it's off the original house.
It's huge.
Right.
So as you all know, I have the Ghost app that I use all the time.
Ghost Radar app, in case anybody wants
Yes.
to download it.
GR Classic.
I did download it myself.
So did our mom, and she's obsessed.
I did not.
So we got as we're walking through, you can tell it's a very old house. And so Megan had asked the guy if it was haunted, and he was like, oh yeah, what was the last name?
It was like
Mrs. Kenfield.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Something like that. I was going to say Cartwright. I knew that was wrong. So, of course, as soon as he says that, I get the Ghost app out. And I'm walking around the entire place with my radar going. And it starts picking up. The first word it picked up, we were on the second floor in the master suite, which is not a bedroom anymore. But he said this would have been the master suite.
And it was by like the servant quarters
Yes.
too.
And it picked up the word Papa. And then we walk into another room and it picks up David. So by now, like, me, my sisters, and my mom were all like talking about it. So of course we ask him, like, hey, is there anyone with the name David in this house? So I told him it had said Papa. And he goes, oh my God, that's weird.
And he was like about to cry.
Yeah, he had
it was,
teary
it
eyes.
was really crazy.
He goes, I have a story to tell you guys, but I'm probably going to tear up. And we're like, oh, we cry all the time. It's fine. So he starts telling the story about how the first guy who lived in the house or owned the house, whatever, was
ENT physician.
the eyes,
Ears,
or
nose, and throat.
Yes. Not eyes. Like, and this was back in like 1800s,
I don't remember what he said.
1951 was when the house something. He threw out 1951.
I think
at some
that's
point.
probably when they started
Yeah.
the women's club.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
Yeah,
remember
I
that date.
I think that's when it was established as a women's club. So it was before it was that.
a
Anyway,
long
so
time.
it's a old, yeah. So he said the first guy that lived there was this doctor, and he had found this procedure that something in the ears, if you have the bones
it was
in
like
your
a
ears
bone.
or something.
It was infected.
Yeah. And one of his, they brought, one of the cases that was brought to him was a 7-year-old orphan, and he had never done the procedure on someone that young. And he did it for the first time, and like, if it didn't work, she was going to die and all this. So he did it, and she survived, and he ended up
Bringing her
Adopt-
home and
adopting her and raising her
at the
from
house.
there on out. Yeah. So he was like, oh my gosh, that's probably like, why is
'Cause-
she saying Papa? She's looking
Right.
for...
She would call him Papa and follow him everywhere in the
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
So that was cool. So then, of course, we get the app going the entire time. We go in the basement where there's like a bar that legit looks like you walked into a speakeasy.
It's so cool.
It was the coolest thing. You can definitely tell you're in a basement. It was so cool. And then there's this like crawl space off of the bar that looks sketchy as shit. So of course we start like putting the phone towards there, and it's picking up some stuff. So then my mom goes in and it picks up all this stuff, and then it picks up the word like behind.
drink.
As we were walking out of the crawl space, it said
Yeah, it was-
behind.
ooh, it
And
was
I'm like, oh,
creepy.
hell no, it's behind us. And then it picked up the word drink.
And we were in front of the bar.
Yes.
Still.
And then mom had walked away from me at one point, and it picked up the word Anne, which is
Like
our mom's name.
A-N.
Yeah, but what if
But
it
I know.
meant...
Oh, yeah.
Because it like picks up
Oh my
signals
God, that's
and it
so
tries
creepy.
to like determine what they think the ghost is saying.
So the words could be a little off.
Yeah.
But like, that is weird.
Yeah. So we had that bitch going. It picked up a lot of words, and I meant to,
Immediately.
it picked up immediately. It picked up the name Johnson. It picked up President, Columbus, husband, which is weird because
Yeah.
John was looking at getting married there.
Uh-huh.
Picked up the name Alice. Picked up the words eager, damage, effort, build, and the name Dan.
It was weird.
Also picked up the word airplane, which was weird, but
Random.
but it was pretty cool.
That was fun.
That is crazy.
Yeah. I'm glad we got that out.
Like, I want to use the app, but like not at my own house.
Yeah,
I use it at my house all the time.
Like, I'd use it here,
No, I don't want to use it here.
but I'll use it for you.
No,
Okay.
I don't want to use it
at
here.
mine.
I don't
Yeah.
want to be like trapped with my ghost. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
Yeah, but at least I know my ghost name now. So I can talk to him.
Like-
I've been calling him the wrong name for a year.
You were close though, Richard Robert.
That's what I said. Oh, and I don't think we ever talked about it, but the family I bought the house from, the first man in that family to live in the house was named Robert. His
Yeah, we
son
talked-
Yeah,
was
you
Robert
talked about
Jr. We
I
never,
thought you did.
Oh wait, maybe we didn't.
we didn't. We talked about how I picked up the name Robert, but we never touched base again on the
Oh.
fact that the lady I bought it from, her dad originally lived in the house.
And his name was
His
Robert.
name was Robert. His son was Robert Jr.
That is.
So I'm
crazy.
picking up one of them.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's like sometimes the word pop up and you're trying to find it, like connect the dots,
Right.
but
You're
like,
oh, maybe it means this. Like,
but like
the
drink
and. In a
and-
bar.
Yeah, that's crazy. And you can also see like the hot spots, like where they would
Yes.
be, and it was like red when you were in that thing.
Yeah.
by the
Oh, it got
bar.
so red when we went in
in
there.
this crawl space.
Yes,
Yeah.
which means the signal was like
Was it red anywhere else?
here and there. There were a
Yeah.
couple red ones,
it
but
would,
we
like,
walked
it would
in
pop
there.
up and disappear.
We
Oh.
walked in there, and there was like 3 red dots on this radar, and they stood like
Why did
stayed
they
there.
hide in like dungeon-like places?
Maybe they were killed there.
Oh.
So yeah, that was our morning. That was a fun
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah,
I
it
did
was-
not think that we were gonna go into this venue and bust out the Ghost
Nope,
Radar app,
me
but I'm
neither.
so glad we did.
I'm so
It was
glad
so
too. I'm
fun.
obsessed with this. Like, Mom is bad right now because she
Yeah.
just downloaded it,
She-
but I use it all the time.
Yeah, so then we went to go pick some greenery, and Mom is walking around the field trying to pick up ghosts, like talking to them.
Literally, she looked like a psycho.
We're doing all the work, and she's just walking around. with
She's
her
gonna
phone.
be so mad because she gets so mad that we make fun of her. Now here we are. We love you, Mom. You still owe Megan 150 for the Uber.
Yep.
105.
Be waiting for that.
That's a big bill.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's like anything else to talk about, but like I don't have shit. going on.
Epstein.
Oh,
I got my list.
I forgot about that. I was like, I feel like there's
Oh,
something
I'm
we're
ready.
not talking
I'm
about.
ready.
So yeah, we watched the new Jeffrey Epstein
Filthy
documentary,
Rich.
Filthy Rich, on Netflix. So if you haven't watched it, maybe skip through this. But
Yeah, but I feel like everyone knows what happened anyways.
Yeah.
'Cause Megan didn't though. She goes, "You're gonna be so shocked at the end." I'm like, Megan, did you not follow this when it was actually happening?
oh, you didn't.
I never even heard of the guy's
Oh.
name.
Oh, what?
No.
There's always that meme going around that said Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scott goes, "Were you under a rock the last few years?"
She literally goes, "You're gonna be so shocked at the end." I go, "Megan, I know he
Scott
dies."
told me
just
episode
waiting for it
1
to
that
happen.
he dies, and I'm like, I'm on episode
But it was
1.
like such
you
a
could
big
tell
deal when it
because
happened.
they don't interview him, and there's no recent photos or
Yeah,
anything.
but I didn't
That's
want
how
him to ruin it, and he ruined
Yeah.
it.
I
was on
can't believe
episode
you've
1.
never heard of like you've
Okay,
been on Facebook.
But the problem is, the funny thing is, I knew Prince Andrew stepped down from royal duties, and I read that article, and I never put, like, I read over Epstein and didn't even put this together.
But
Oh
you,
my
you know
gosh.
who Harvey Weinstein is.
Nope.
Oh, she doesn't know who Harvey Weinstein is?
Bad with names. You got to give me something. I don't know who it is. I know it sounds familiar.
He was
but
in it. He was friends with him. He went to prison too for like molesting all of these famous people.
I
I
don't
told you
know
I didn't
who
watch the
Harvey
last
Weinstein-
episode.
He was in
Oh,
it?
No. Are you guys on both
It
under
sounds
a rock?
familiar.
I'm
You know how
looking
I
it up
am
for
with
you.
names. I was like doing other stuff and just kind of listening because I already knew the story.
See, I didn't. I
So
I
didn't.
didn't know
wasn't-
the whole story. I didn't know it was like massages and
Oh,
that.
see, I
I
knew
just
all
knew he
that.
was like some type of sex offender, but I didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
And like I did know he killed himself because there's always that meme going around
Or
that he didn't kill himself.
Didn't kill himself.
Yeah.
No, I knew everything. That's why I didn't like. I don't know. I think I was doing my notes for an episode or something and like, you know what I mean? Like listening.
I just want to know what happened to his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, because
I
I'm
looked it
sorry.
up.
Yeah, she should have been charged. She's living in a mansion.
No,
Yeah.
no one knows where she
disappeared.
is.
She disappeared.
Yeah.
But the latest was she was living in a mansion. I'm sorry, she should have been charged.
I agree.
Oh, she should have.
Yes.
She
Ghislaine.
paid someone off.
That I'm disgusted with her, and she got away with it.
Same. I think
It
is such a-
shows you money buys you so much power until it doesn't. And I think he was killed to shut his mouth because there's way more because Bill Clinton was there many times, just like it showed you
Oh,
didn't watch
wasn't
the
Trump?
last but it only showed one
Or
picture.
he was tied in with
yes,
him a
but
lot.
then Trump
But-
made a statement. He's like, I barely knew him.
But
like,
I agree with that because it only showed one photo and him and Mulaney were very, very young. Clinton, it had picture after picture with Clinton.
Like on a plane.
And
Yeah, I
Clinton
know, but,
straight
like-
up lied, though. Clinton said he was never on that island, and then it showed you didn't watch the last episode, but it had like a log, and Clinton signed in like 5 times, and then it interviewed the past employee, and he goes, I saw Clinton sitting around the living room.
Well,
He's
I
been
believe
here.
it.
Prince Andrew also denied it all,
Yeah.
and he's a liar.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you deny it? If you were in a position like
But
they
he
were?
went on national TV and denied it.
Like, you gotta know it's gonna come out. You're
Right.
gonna look
Yeah.
worse.
Right.
But what I felt bad for, especially, was that Vanity Fair lady when he called and threatened her when she was pregnant and said,
Yeah.
I know the hospital workers. And
Oh, yes.
He's a monster.
Where are you having that baby? Because I know
Yeah.
every doctor.
yeah.
That's scary.
I
What
don't
I
know.
was going to say about Harvey Weinstein
Oh,
is
yes,
that maybe you didn't know about the Jeffrey Epstein, because after that, Harvey Weinstein everybody was accusing him, and then he went to trial. So that was like the big thing in the news. So I feel
That's
like
true.
right after Jeffrey, it was like, oh, he's dead.
Boom,
Yep.
boom.
And then it was Harvey.
So-
and they like were friends at one point.
Where is Harvey now?
He's in prison jail.
For the same thing.
Prison jail.
He's a sex offender. I don't know his story, but there is a podcast that talks about Harvey Weinstein. I didn't listen to it all. I listened to the first one, but I was half paying attention. But it's Court Junkies. She did a
There's
episode
one
on
about,
Harvey Weinstein.
or there's probably multiple on Jeffrey Epstein too.
I just
Like
felt-
before he died, because Amy, I work with, mom's friend.
Yeah.
We talked about, like, when we
Yeah.
used to see each other, we got into the podcast stuff, and like she was into the same thing, so we were sharing podcasts, and she was like, oh my god, I listened to this one about Jeffrey Epstein, you should listen to it. And I never did, but I know there's a couple podcasts on
I
it.
just felt bad for the victims, and I like how the judge allowed them, even after he died,
Yeah.
committed suicide, was killed, allowed them to speak. But I just felt so bad. But I have in my notes, I really like Shauna's pink hair. I think she could pull it off. The one girl.
I loved her.
Oh my god,
Oh,
me too.
yes.
But I
I
liked
loved
her
her.
hair. I
didn't even like, I remember her hair, now you said
She
that, but she
really-
was cool.
She was
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, she was just so chill.
Yes, so
She
chill. After
was.
everything that happened, like,
But did you notice? Oh, you didn't watch last episode. Did you notice that the girl who does the painting, she drew all of them but her?
Yeah.
I was like,
But
what the
she
hell?
Was so good.
she drew all the victims.
But that girl, I was like, oh, they got some beef.
Yeah.
Maybe she's the one that took
Anyways,
her in or
Harvey
something.
is serving 23 years in jail.
Well,
in New York.
his ass should get life, but yeah, I don't know. I had many notes. I couldn't sleep afterwards. I was just like disgusted, and I was thinking about
Yeah.
the girls, and I'm like, man, they had balls, because the moment I would go over there and he's like, you have to take your clothes out, I would be like, bye, and I'd walk out.
I'd be scared though as
Right.
well.
I know a lot
I'd be
of
like,
them
if
said
I,
they were scared that he'd pull a gun. I never would have thought that.
oh, I would have
I
been terrified.
would've.
It's
He's
a
a man
man.
of power, rich.
He's
power.
got money. Number one, you're a small young girl. You don't know. I would have panicked. I wouldn't have left. I would have been like, I maybe would have questioned it, but I probably would have done it because I'm scared out of my life. What do I do?
And then
what if I
Right.
try and leave and he hurts me?
And then I don't want to say, I can't say that he targeted these girls because he wasn't recruiting them. These girls were recruiting
Yeah.
the other girls, but a lot of them had no family, no home,
Bad
no
background.
money.
Needed the money.
But it's weird that's what the majority of the girls were, and he wasn't recruiting them. The other girls were
Because they
recruiting
knew
them.
that they could get these girls to do it because they needed
Oh,
money.
It was just
Or like their morals just weren't in the best place because
it's
they
just
weren't
crazy.
raised.
I liked the girl with the red hair too, with the accent. Where did she end up?
Spain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked her too. Well, the girl who married that Australian guy,
Yeah.
she's like trying to go after whatever the
Weinstein?
fuck her name is.
Why? Because was
Oh.
she trafficked
No,
to him?
No, the wife or the girlfriend.
She should.
Yeah, she's trying to go
I
after
would.
her.
If I was all those girls, I would be going after her.
Yeah.
It's so
Like,
messed
does she
up.
think she's gonna get away with that? I feel like
Yes.
she
They
cannot
all
get away
do.
with that.
Okay, also there's another reason why he killed himself, because like it just doesn't make sense how he's even famous, how he's even rich.
Yeah, he
There
didn't
is like
go to.
no
He went to college, but didn't finish. Then lied and became a teacher. Lied on his resume, and then he stole like what was it, $46 million from the CEO of L Brands. Lied about that bisexual relationship.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
So
forgot about that.
crazy.
Yes.
So crazy. I felt bad for that man
forgot
that he
about that.
stole that money from him. Yeah, how did he become so rich? I
Yeah.
don't get it.
I know, that's why I'm saying it makes
Cheating,
more sense.
stealing, lying.
It makes more sense that he killed himself though.
And all
Because
these
like
yes.
if he was to go to court like legit,
Or he
all
knew
that
if I
shit
go
would
to
come out.
that, or like even going to prison. Like
So who do you
I
think
am-
killed him?
I think he killed himself.
I don't think he killed himself.
No?
I don't think he killed himself.
Mm-mm. Somebody killed him in that prison.
I think it's like government.
Oh, I don't know about government, but like
Because
someone
I think
was
of
paid
like
off for sure.
Clintons and like, I don't know. I feel like
Somebody
it's-
paid those guards or
Well,
somebody to
yeah,
kill him.
absolutely. That's what I think.
So messed up.
Yeah.
No, because remember, there's proof that he didn't kill himself.
Yeah,
There's
I
proof
didn't
that-
watch the last episode.
There's proof
Yeah.
that he didn't hang himself, because if you hang yourself, something here would be
they had the
broke or
coroner,
something,
the medical examiner.
and it's not broke. It's
Yeah.
like not even bothered.
It wouldn't be by
So
yourself.
how was he killed?
Choking, but not
Strangulation.
hanging. Yeah.
But they set it up where it looked like he did it.
I didn't know all that.
Yeah.
Sorry, we ruined it for you.
No, it's
It's
I mean,
okay.
there wasn't anything
Yeah.
that was going to be.
So at first,
knew he died,
I was
so.
watching it while I was doing other things, and then I was like, you know what? I feel like I really have to pay attention. So I restarted it, and thank God I did, because I missed so much. And I'm like, this is something you really had to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that like boiled my blood.
It was good though. Like I didn't know the full story.
Prince
so.
Andrew, everyone that was involved with him, you are nasty people.
Scum.
Yeah.
And G-Lan,
And
I
he
hope
had
you serve
daughters
your
that
time.
were the
Yeah.
same age when he was doing it. It's just like,
Prince
how
Andrew?
could you? Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
how could you do that? Because I liked the security guy at the
island?
island, because
Yes.
he's like, somebody was like, yeah, why do you work here? And he's like, you know what? I
Quit
don't
the
know why,
next
because
day.
my daughters
Yeah.
are the same age, and he quit. And I'm like, fuck yeah.
That's
Yeah.
And then you come on this show and hoe him some more.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
that's the one that saw
Yeah, Bill
Clinton,
Clinton there. Yeah.
Scott was saying that Clinton would go all the time without his bodyguards and without his personnel so he could escape and no one could say that he was there. He would do it under the radar.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
I just hate it because I feel like people with like money and celebrity, whatever, like they just feel like they can do whatever the fuck they want,
and
it's
they
like,
manipulate
and then they get in
people.
trouble, but they don't really get in trouble.
Yeah.
It just makes me so mad.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, if you have money.
And like
Yep.
I always feel like people with money and celebrity always are into the freakiest shit.
That's just
I don't
weird.
think it's. I don't think it's. The rich and famous people are into it more than the poor people. We just don't hear about the poor people
It's
doing it because
more-
it doesn't come
I
out.
don't
Why would
know.
we
I
ever
feel
hear
like they're
about?
they're always trying to do some freaky shit.
Yeah, but why would you know that about a normal person? Why would it ever get brought out? It never
Yeah.
would. Rich and famous people, yeah, people want to bring that stuff out
they're
because
more in the limelight.
yeah.
So moral of the story, a lot of people are into some freaky shit.
Keep your shit under wraps and watch who you let in your house.
Just don't be a Jeffrey in the world, please.
Yeah.
Okay, ready for some wine?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So who
Kelly's
wants to
been
read it?
hiding it.
I'll read it.
Amelia
I
hasn't read
it.
one.
I read one at my house. The fuck you want me to read this?
I'm looking at it. I'm like, thank God I didn't read
And
it.
on the other
Derver
side,
Extra Meaner, 2018, Villa Wolf, Ernst Lucen.
Ernst Lucen. Read the back.
Oh, okay.
Ernst Lucen.
Okay, so Villa Wolf, a 2018 Gewürztraminer. It's a spicy, fruity white wine that shows off the aromatic charm of the Gewürztraminer grape. Juicy
Are
and
you having another stroke?
Kelly, it's the word. Anyways,
Grape?
No, the word and then grape.
Oh, okay.
So, of the grape. Juicy and fresh, it's terrific for sipping anytime and as a partner for spicy foods.
Also, because we're having like
Ooh, we're having tacos.
tacos
later.
later, and it's a little bit spicy, so it
And it's a twist off good because I
Yes.
forgot to bring the wine opener down here.
twist her
You
off.
can open it. Cheers. What happened
It's gonna
there?
start staticking because she poured it on her mic. So yes, that is very refreshing. I do like it. I could probably put an ice cube in it.
Yeah, I like it. Could put some frozen strawberries in it.
Oh,
I don't have any frozen, but I
Or
do
a
have,
lime, or a lemon. Do you have a lemon? We should try the lemon.
I only have limes.
I hate lime.
Sorry.
So what do we think? It's good?
Oh,
I
think it's
like
really
it.
good.
I think it's really good.
It is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too bad.
Good one, Kelly.
Yes.
I picked a random. I picked one that I knew you'd struggle to read because I knew I didn't have to read it.
I
feel
wonder
like,
how it's really said.
I feel like it's got some bubbly to it.
Gewürztraminer. Gewürztraminer. It's easier to read on the
Traminer?
back. 'Cause it's
Traminer?
not in like the cursive.
Gewürztraminer.
Gewürztraminer.
Should I?
You probably have to
Sauvignon
like
Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc.
yeah, put it in the pronounce right.
Okay, now that we've uncorked the wine, are we ready to uncork in some crime?
I guess. No, just
Oh.
kidding. Yes.
What story do you have for us, Kelly? Because you've been
So-
hiding it from us, and it just
I
makes me
asked
want
her
to
in
know
the car,
even more.
and she told me. I'm kidding. She didn't. She didn't.
I don't know if you guys will know it, but the reason we have a German wine is because we're going to talk about one of the most gruesome and unsolved crimes of Germany.
Oh,
We're
you
taking this
gosh,
out of
look at
country.
you.
So I got the German wine to go with our German
Oh,
story.
She's really making up for when she forgot.
Yes,
Wait,
she
you guys,
did.
Also, side note. So I looked on Podbean
Yeah.
about our listeners. This one goes out to our one listener in Germany. We have one.
Woo!
So this story is for you.
Hoka hey to you, German listener.
We have a couple around the world.
How do you say hello in Germany?
Guten Tag.
Yeah, I would say you took
There
German.
you go.
Guten Tag.
I checked
Thank
last
you for
night. I was
listening.
like,
I don't know anything else in German.
Say thank you.
yeah, don't you know? Thank you.
No, bitch, I only know Guten Tag. I don't even know.
Oh.
I think that might be good morning.
Oh my god, that's funny. Well, maybe they'll be listening to this in the morning. But I did look last night, and I was like, oh my god, we have one German listener. So like, my one German story was for them.
That's
Whoever you
cool.
are, we love you.
Okay, we're ready.
Funny. Okay.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Do you know how many? Because there's names
Okay,
in this
then.
that I had to like.
Oh yeah.
It's in parentheses everywhere, like how to actually pronounce.
Like
it.
your Russian ones?
Yeah, but I just
You
didn't
just
even
didn't
bother
do
with
those.
the names.
Yeah.
Okay.
That time it didn't matter
Yeah.
as much.
Okay, so I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So we are going back to 1922.
Ooh.
Another. It's not the 1800s, but it's definitely older. This is our story is called the Hinterkaifeck. Hinterkaifeck.
This is the one I sent you.
Hinterkaifeck murders. Yes, you did.
Haley sent me this one.
Oh, okay. I wasn't
I
sure.
think-
I've never heard of it.
Okay, Haley, here you go.
This is
I
nasty.
have.
This is nasty.
Isn't it get gruesome?
Well, it's one of the most gruesome and unsolved, but it's not
Yeah?
like
That's
it's
what
nothing like Ed Gein. Let's say
That's
that.
what I meant. That's
In
what I
Germany, in the world, or what?
In German,
Okay.
in Germany, it's the
Okay.
one of the most gruesome and unsolved crimes in German history.
meant. Yes.
Okay, all right.
So our story takes place in it's like a farmstead in Germany, so it's not actually like
Right.
Hinterkaifeck isn't the town or city, but it's like the farmstead.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 43 miles north of Munich. The house was built in 1863. It's located in the village of, I might say this wrong, Grobern. So it's Hinterkaifeck is the property in the village of Groben.
Okay.
So there were 6 people in March of 1922 living in this home. Andreas Gruber, who was 63. Kazilia Gruber.
Oh wow, that's a cool name.
Yes.
How do you spell it?
Cazilia.
That's cool.
Kazilia. Gruber. They were husband and wife. There's then Victoria, who is their daughter, who was a widow. She was 35. Her husband was Carl Gabriel, so her last name's Gabriel, who had died in the First World War in 1914. And then her 2 kids, Kazilia again was 7, and Joseph was 2. And then they also had a housemaid, Maria Baumgartner.
This is a handful of
Bomb.
I know.
names.
Well, we use first names from here on out. I will specify when it's Kazilia if it's the grandma or the daughter, though, because
Okay.
there's 2. So, first thing to know, in September of 1921, so like 6 months before this happened, the family's original housemaid, her name was Crescence. She quit. And she quit because she said she thought the house was haunted. She kept hearing like footsteps and weird things, and she was for sure the house and the farm were haunted, so she left.
Is it haunted?
We'll get to it.
I'm jumping.
It's not because I would have let you know.
I was gonna say.
No. She kept hearing noises in the attic and throughout the house, so she left because she was like, I ain't trying to mess with all that.
Right.
So, March of 1922. Within this month, a couple weird things happened, so we'll start with those.
Okay.
Andreas, grandpa, man of the house, found a newspaper from Munich.
Okay.
They were not on the list to receive the newspaper. No one in their house had.
And they didn't go there.
Yeah. He thought maybe like it was one of the neighbors, but no one else there was subscribed.
Was it dated recently or?
Yeah, it was like the March one. So he thought maybe like it accidentally got dropped with his mail or the mailman dropped it. Some sites say it was found in the house. Some say it was on the property and doesn't specify where. So
It's just in the vicinity. somewhere.
yeah, it's somewhere in the area. Yes.
Okay.
Andreas again had mentioned to some neighbors that he had seen footprints in the snow, because we're in March, from the forest that was around the property to the farm's like machine room barn area.
How did he know it wasn't someone in his family?
I mean, I guess it could have been, but when he followed the footsteps, he saw that the lock on the door was broken to the barn machine room, and he couldn't find footprints going away. So he searched the barn, but never like found anybody in there.
Oh,
so
creepy.
yeah, so he thought that was weird. Around the same time, one of the family's house keys went missing, and the family also heard the footsteps in the attic that made the maid leave. There were also, it just says some of the family members, and I couldn't find who. So if it was the kids, maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of the family members said they saw a man with a mustache standing at the edge of the forest watching the house.
Oh, no.
Oh, heck no.
Yeah, so some weird shit.
Wait, what's the closest house?
Oh, they're like miles apart.
Yeah, if it's like a farmhouse, I'm
Yeah.
expecting
I mean, he's got
spread
acres
out.
and acres of land.
Yeah.
So, Friday, March 31st, 1922. Kazilia, the 7-year-old, the daughter,
Oh, God.
went to school and told one of her friends that the night before she saw her mom run out of the house after a fight with somebody. Doesn't know with who.
She wasn't in the house?
Oh, she was
Well,
in
she
the-
was probably like up in her room and saw her mom from the window run out of the house.
like run out the porch or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
there was an altercation in the house. She ran out of the house. Wasn't found until hours later, and they found her like in the forest. Which
Dead?
no,
Oh.
no, she was. I don't know if she was like wandering, like what the fuck she was doing, but she was in the forest. That same afternoon, their new housemaid arrived. First day on the job. Her name, Maria Baumgartner. We mentioned her earlier. Introduced her. Baumgartner. Her sister dropped her off, stayed for a little bit, and then she left. She was the last person to see any of the occupants in the house alive.
Oh, my God. Welcome to your first day. Bam, everyone's going to die.
Yes.
How old is the maid?
She was
It's-
44.
Okay.
So she's just a little bit older than
The
The wo-
daughter.
yeah.
Right?
Saturday, April 1st, the next day. I don't know what these are, why we don't have them anymore, but it's called a coffee seller. And if they come to your house and sell coffee, like door to door, because it says the next morning, coffee sellers by the name of Hans and Edward
Oh, that's
came
so
by
cool.
to place an order. I want a coffee seller to come to my
So
house.
they
the business.
sold coffee?
Well, they probably like grew it and
Yeah.
like sold orders to house to house. But like this is back in the day, so like they had to go house to
Yeah.
house to get the
Cool.
orders. Yeah.
Right.
I literally wrote in my notes, I don't know why this isn't still a thing because I want one. So no one answered the door, so they walked around the back of the house. They didn't notice anything weird other than the gate to the barn was open. Machine house barn.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll call it barn from here on out, but it's machine house barn, same thing. So they left. Later in the day, an artisan,
Artesian.
Mm-hmm.
whatever he is. His name is Michael.
Okay, Michael.
He stopped by the house and noticed smoke coming from the chimney, but it was like a really bad smell. And apparently he saw somebody approaching him with a lantern in their hand.
Was this at night?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it had like blinded him and he was coming at him quickly. So like Michael freaked out and like left. And so
okay,
he
I probably
kinda,
would
like,
have done the same thing, though.
right. Yeah. So he like left, was like, fuck this. I'm out. Then again, later that night, another farmer and butcher by the name of Simon passed by on his way home and said he saw two figures standing at the edge of the forest. And when they saw Simon, they like turned so Simon couldn't see their faces. Didn't think anything of it. I mean, maybe
Creepy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Right.
have thought anything of it either, though. I would have just been like, they're being rude,
Right.
and went on his way. Next day, now we're on Sunday, April 2nd. Family didn't show up for Sunday worship. And I'm pretty sure Kazilia, Victoria, the daughter,
Mm-hmm.
was like in the choir. So it was like
Oh.
really weird for them to
Oh.
miss mass.
Uh-huh.
Real
Or
quick,
worship.
does the maid stay at the house? Does she live there?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why her sister dropped her off and then
Okay.
she left because, yeah, the housemaid would just live there.
Okay.
So then Monday, April 3rd, the mailman arrived to drop off their mail and noticed Saturday's mail was still in the box and Kazilia didn't show up for school. Tuesday, April 4th, Kazilia still had not showed up for
Damn.
school. Albert Hoffner, who was an assembler, arrived on the property to fix a food chopper, which I'm assuming is like not like a hand one. It's like what you put the animals
Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
A big one.
yes. So he got there. He didn't see any of the family members, didn't hear anything inside the house other than the dogs barking, and the doors were locked. So he waited a little bit, figured that they had gone into town or wherever they were. He got into the barn, did his repair. Couple hours, 4.5 hours later, he left. Still no sign of the family. But at this time, when he went to leave, he noticed that there was a dog tied up outside the house now. And when he had gotten there, the dogs were all inside.
Oh no.
So again, he just thought like, I don't know, maybe like one of the kids is here, put the dog outside now, whatever. So he went back into the village and told the village guide. I don't know what a village guide is, and I honestly tried to Google it thinking it'd give me like a legit description of it. I'm assuming it's like, it's not the mayor because the mayor comes up too. I'm assuming it's someone that
Just with authority.
I don't even think necessarily authority. It's like, I don't know if someone like new comes to town. Like he probably knows everybody and like
Right.
this person can sell you this. This person can like, I don't
Right.
know, go here if
Yeah.
you need this. His name was Lorenz Schlittenbauer.
Okay, nice name.
I think that was a fun one. We'll call him Lorenz from here on out.
Okay.
But he's a village guide. Albert told him that he had finished his repairs and that he didn't see the family. And then he met with the mayor, Georg Greiger, and also told him about the emptiness of the house. At 3:30, so an hour later, the village guide Lorenz sent his son and his stepson to check on the family. Like, let's go out there. Stepsons didn't see anyone, so Lorenz went out himself with two other men, Michael and Jacob. I don't know who these guys were because I couldn't find anything on them, but
Just two other guys.
yeah. They saw that the barn doors were closed and they heard a dog barking inside the barn. They enter the barn and they find the bodies of Andreas, his wife Kazilia, their daughter Victoria, and their granddaughter Kazilia, dead, half buried under some hay.
So not the maid?
In the barn. Nope. So far it's just the grandma, grandpa, the mom, the granddaughter.
In the barn where the guy went to fix the food thing?
I think he was outside the barn.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because when
never
he
went into the
left,
barn?
Okay.
yeah. He then went into the house, just Lorenz, not the three of them. Just Lorenz went into the house and found the bodies of the housemaid and the grandson Joseph, who was 2 at the time.
Oh.
So they got the people out there. The next day, because by now it was later in the day, an autopsy was completed where the bodies were found. So they were like done in the barn and house. The grandmother had signs of strangulation and a cracked skull. 7 blows to the head.
Oh my gosh.
Andreas, the grandfather, his face was caked in blood and his cheekbones were popping out of his face.
Oh.
Victoria, the daughter, had signs of strangulation, a cracked skull, and 9 star-shaped wounds on her head and the right side of her face.
Star shaped?
Yeah, I don't know if like she was hit with something like I don't know. It just, and I can't find
9
anything more on
times?
that.
Oh.
Yeah, 9
I wonder if
star-shaped
it was
wounds.
just some type of tool.
Yeah.
That was in the shape of that.
The daughter, Kazilia, had a shattered jaw. Her face and neck were covered in gaping circular wounds. And it appeared that she had remained alive for a couple hours after the attack because she had fistfuls of her hair that she pulled out of her head in her hand.
Why did she pull it out?
I mean, she's probably just like in a state of panic. In
Yeah.
pain, panic. I don't know. But she had fistfuls of her own hair in her hands. She was 7.
Oh, this was the little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the daughter. Maria, the maid, had suffered blows back and forth across her head. She had been covered with a sheet. Everyone in the barn was covered with hay, partially. I don't know if they were fully covered at one point, and then there was a dog in there. So, but they were covered. Joseph, the 2-year-old, had 1 heavy blow to his face and was covered up with one of his mother's dresses.
Weird.
The autopsy believed the murder weapon was a mattock. It's like a pickaxe, which would explain like the open wounds if you use, the one end.
Mm-hmm.
But there was nothing found at the scene of the crime at the time. Apparently, the skulls were removed
What?
at this point because that's where they were hit. So I don't know if they like took the heads off. I don't know.
Oh.
But they were like sent to Munich to be further investigated, and then like they were later lost.
What? Their skulls?
Yeah, and like no one knows whatever happened to them.
That many happen to be lost.
Everyone's skulls?
That's what it says.
Oh my gosh. What?
Yes. A year later, the house was demolished and a mattock was found hidden in the attic loft. which was the murder weapon. And they also found a penknife, which is like a pocket knife, in the hay in the barn. That will come into play later. The police first assumed that the motive was robbery, but they had later found a large amount of money in the house. So that theory was disproved pretty quickly.
No other items were missing?
The really confusing part is that there were signs that the murderers stayed in the home for several days after the murders.
Well, it makes sense because they saw so many people that saw people.
The cattle
That
were
weren't
fed. The dogs were fed. An entire supply of bread had been eaten. Meat had recently been cut into. The neighbors reported seeing smoke coming from the chimney all weekend, which these murders were said to have happened Friday night.
It's someone they know.
But why would they stay?
But
Just wait, we'll get
Because
to
it's someone they know.
There
Why would you
are-
go feed their cattle unless you knew that they needed to feed their
that's
cattle?
true. So then the police assumed that it appeared that the victims were drawn to the barn for some reason because all of them were in the barn except for the maid and the younger one.
Right.
So they first assumed that maybe like the animals were making some weird noises, so they went out. But it was later determined that human screams couldn't be heard from the barn in the house. So how would they have heard animals?
Oh.
You know, like they did some testing.
Yeah.
And like apparently you couldn't hear this people screaming. So how would you hear the animals? Only 5 photos were taken from the crime scene in total. 2 of the bodies found in the barn, 1 of the maid, 1 of Joseph's disturbed bassinet in his mother's bedroom, and then the outside view of the house. Which I feel like you would take more.
Way more.
But this is 1920s. Like,
Yeah, but it's also like a murder of 6.
yeah, I know, but
if they're taking those photos, they can take more.
Yeah, I feel like
you would think, but I mean,
or
maybe they
better
just didn't have
photos?
even a type of protocol then.
That's true. Fingerprints were not secured. Don't know if that was really a thing back then. Bodies and items were moved around before they should have been, and there is rumors that like the police and investigators ate dinner and cooked in the kitchen during the investigation.
I'm sorry, what?
Right.
So
A
they
murder
ate their
scene.
dinner, but didn't even take enough photos.
Yes.
Wow.
But I don't know if that's also like
The people who were staying there.
right. If it was somebody who stayed there before and like it got mixed up along the way, you know, like the story.
Yeah, yeah.
So but it says that the investigators did it. It was believed that Victoria was murdered first, the daughter, then her mother Cazelia, then her father, then her last daughter. After that, the murderer went inside and killed the maid and the baby.
So they were already in the barn.
Well, the investigators believe that the murderer was in the barn, yes, prior, and got the family out
and
to
the
the
dad
barn.
saw the footprints.
Yes. There was also signs of shifted roof tiles and depressions in the hay. Like someone with like sleeping there. So at this point, the police put together a list of suspects because usually like something this brutal is, like you said, someone they know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason. Over the years, more than 100 suspects have been questioned, and to this day, no one has ever been found guilty.
Oh my gosh.
But do you guys want to make guesses before I go over the suspects?
I don't even know any people.
I know.
Like the only
And
people
I-
I know is
Maid's
the
sister.
maid's
I couldn't
sister,
really
yeah.
bring up any. Well, I brought up a couple people.
I wouldn't have a guess.
Who did you bring up? The mail, the coffee, maybe the coffee guys, because somebody said they saw 2 people and the coffee guys were 2 people, right?
There's coffee people. There's the artisan. I don't know what that is. Michael. There's the mailman. There's the assembler, Albert Hoffner, who was there for hours fixing the food chopper.
But he was the one who told the village person.
Yes.
So I don't.
And then
think
there's
it's
the
him.
village person.
Don't
that was my next
forget
one.
about the maid
I'm gonna say-
sister.
And the
Or
maid
the
sister.
ex-maid.
I'm gonna say the coffee guys.
But it could be an ex-maid.
What do you think? It is?
I'm just saying my
I'm
guess is
going
the
with
coffee
the
guys. You
ex-maid.
can guess whatever you want.
But I have a question
Yeah.
I have 2 questions. So the dog, I'm going back to the dog because you said at one moment it was outside and then it
There's
was,
multiple dogs.
but that one instant it was outside or it was,
It was
inside,
inside,
and then all of a sudden
yeah.
it was outside. Who the hell was alive in the house to do that?
The murderer.
Okay.
That was over the weekend when they said the murderer stayed there all weekend.
Okay, and then the history of the family. So you said they had a lot of money. Were they well liked? Do you?
yeah, did they have a lot of friends?
I didn't find anything on that.
Okay.
The village people knew exactly where they were at, so they
Yeah, they
must
were
have
well
been
known.
like, yeah.
And it should. I don't think they were.
Okay, I just was wondering. So I guess my guess is going to be the ex-maid. How long was the ex-maid?
This family was a little scandalous, and we'll get to that.
How long was the ex-maid their maid? Do you know?
Okay, I couldn't find that. I want to say it was only a couple years, but I don't.
Because the maid knew the house and everything. So that's my guess.
Mine's the coffee people.
Okay, I'm just going to go through the list in the order that I found them online.
Okay.
First suspect, Victoria's supposedly dead husband, Carl Gabriel.
Supposed.
Apparently, they said he died in France during the war. However, his body was never found. And after the murders, people started like questioning if he really died. Carl was said to have died in 1914, right?
Yeah.
Right.
In 1922, Victoria had a 2-year-old son who was said to be Carl's,
Huh?
Oh.
which means she gave birth in 1920. How could it be Carl's son? And if so, Carl's not dead.
Oh. Scandalous, Victoria.
Right. It gets worse.
It gets worse.
It gets worse. So, there were also rumors that Joseph was actually the son of Andreas, Victoria's father. They were known in the town to have an incestuous relationship.
The daughter and the
Ew.
father?
The daughter and the father.
Oh.
So then there were
no.
rumors that
Is
it
a
was
7-year-old their kid?
that never gets brought up, so I don't know.
Oh.
But it was said
Wait. Whose kid? Which
No.
one? Which one of the kids?
Joseph, the 2-year-old son, was born in 1920. Her husband was set to die in 1914.
So the Kazillion girl is
Kazilia.
thought to be the dad.
No,
and the
Joseph.
daughters.
Joseph,
said the
the 2-year-old, is said to be Kazilia and her dad's.
And Kazilia, the daughter,
Is
is
said to be, like,
7?
Yes,
Okay.
so that would have been Carl's
Okay.
because he would have been
Yeah.
alive then.
Oh, that's gross.
Yes, there were apparently there were legit court documents stating that Victoria and Andreas had an incestuous relationship.
Ew.
And the mom was
And-
just all right with it?
Everyone in the town knew. I mean, back in those days, though, what would you have done as a woman? Oh, you can't leave your husband. What are you gonna do? It's not like nowadays a girl can go. You know what I
just wanna
mean?
know if she was upset about it.
Well, she's probably pissed, but don't matter.
Oh, gosh.
So there were rumors that Carl came back. He found out that it was actually like he didn't actually die, and he came back from.
But where was he hiding, and why would he kill them all? What set him off to kill them all?
He found out that Joseph wasn't his.
But no shit, Joseph wasn't his. He's been not around. So how would it be his? He hasn't been
Well,
around.
no, he's just pissed that his wife cheated on him. Oh, but he was gone.
Yeah, but he wasn't even around. So, I mean, if he's that mad, but then continues to make himself a
I mean,
sandwich.
maybe he knew that her and her dad were doing this, and he was pissed and like, fuck this whole family. Maybe then he started to question.
I mean,
if
but he could have just
Kazilia was
started his own
his.
life, basically.
Yeah, but
I don't
maybe. I mean, he also went to the war, so like maybe he went through some shit.
I don't
Yeah,
see
true.
him killing his daughter.
Yeah, but what if
Yeah,
he thought it
true.
wasn't his daughter?
I
What
don't
if he
know.
thought that was also Andreas's?
Oh, I guess it could be.
But he
And now
didn't
he's just
know
pissed
for
at everybody.
Sure, so why would you kill an innocent girl without knowing for sure? I don't know. I don't
you got
think
in that
PTSD, you could do
picture you
crazy
showed us, there's not the other.
The son's not in it.
Okay.
Yeah. The next suspect, Lorenz Schlittenbauer. His first wife died in 1918, and after that, it was said he had started a relationship with Victoria.
Wait, this is the village guy.
Yep.
Oh no.
And that he was actually the father to Joseph.
What the hell?
Apparently, Lorenz and Victoria were planning to get married, but Andreas wouldn't allow it and put a stop to it. Because he's also having sex with her.
Oh.
my. On Joseph's birth certificate, the initials LS are written. It is speculation that it stands for Lorenz Schlittenbauer, but it is also speculation that it's the doctor's initials.
Oh,
But it
could be.
could be Lorenz.
Well, when I asked the history of the family, we're sure getting it now.
Yes. So Lorenz was the one to find the bodies also. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Why would he send his sons out there, though, if he
Yeah.
knew?
You're
Yeah,
right.
seriously.
But maybe he wanted... Maybe that's why he did it.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh, if my son finds him, it makes me look... So when Lorenz first arrived at the house after the murders, he had to break into the barn because the doors were shut.
How the fuck would the doors be shut?
You shut him?
How'd the killer get out then?
He locked it. He locked it and left.
Like he locked it behind him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, he left them inside and he locked it. So Lorenz had to break into the barn.
Okay.
But then, apparently, he used a key to get into the house. One of the keys went missing.
Why do you have a key?
If him and Victoria had a thing,
Yeah.
maybe he would have a key.
Yeah, for sure.
But one of their keys did also go missing prior. Apparently, he went into the house and they asked Michael and the other kid what was his name? The two people with him were like, why did you go in there alone? What if the murderer was still in there? He was reported to have said he was going to look for his son, Joseph.
Oh.
It is also documented that Lorenz disturbed the bodies at the scene. I can't figure out what or how. I don't know if maybe he was checking for a pulse, but he moved them. Years later, in 1925, Lorenz was found rummaging through the remains of the demolished home. So remember, a year after the murders, they tore it down. Whoever saw him, it was probably a neighbor or something, asked why he was there. He responded weirdly, saying something along the lines that the murderer attempted to bury the family in the barn, but the ground was still frozen, and that's why they put hay on them. Yes.
So why is he going through the remains?
I don't
what does
know.
that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I don't know what he's looking for or what he's doing or why he would even say that.
Yeah, why would you say that?
That doesn't even answer the question.
No.
Right. That's what
makes
it's weird that was the response.
He's not right in the
No.
head.
So the theories were that Victoria was demanding child support and he didn't want to pay it. So he was like, I'm going to kill them all. Or he thought the whole time that Joseph was his and found out it was actually Andreas.
yeah.
Or Victoria was leaving him, hopefully not for her dad, but leaving him and wasn't going to let him see Joseph. So he just killed everyone. Okay. So the next couple suspects are people we haven't talked about yet before.
Okay.
These are random ones.
Damn, so I wasn't right.
Me neither.
Well, it's unsolved. So it's up
I
to
know,
you
but
guys
the
to
coffee
guess.
guys don't get brought up.
Oh,
Neither does the
no.
ex-maid.
Damn.
But the ex-maid comes back.
Oh.
So the first,
There's hope.
yeah. The next on the list was the Gump brothers,
Okay.
Adolf and Anton. There were rumors that Adolf was in a relationship with Victoria. My next,
She
Wait,
a hoe
no.
for show.
Oh.
Stop it. My next bullet point. This girl is a hoe. It's literally my
Seriously?
next bullet point. This girl is a hoe.
This kid could be anyone's. I don't
She
even
is-
think she knows who
Yeah.
this kid
Yeah,
it
true.
is.
She is sleeping with the entire town. Apparently, these two brothers and three others, so their friends, murdered 9 peasants in Silesia.
What?
So there was speculation that they're just murderers.
The two brothers.
Yes, the
Okay.
Gump brothers, Adolf and Anton. They also had a sister, Crescencia.
Oh my gosh, these are crazy names.
Well, we're in Germany.
I know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I know.
I like it.
Literally had to this is another one. I had to how do you say this? Crescencia. On her deathbed, she claimed that her brothers were the murderers.
How
Adolf.
does she know?
Well, they told her.
Was she there?
Maybe. Oh, yeah, because she's on her deathbed, so she's at this point, fuck it. Adolf had died at this point. They did arrest Anton and question him, but they couldn't prove it by any means. So
And what year was this?
1922, 1923. This all happened
When
within
she
the
died
first year.
and everything?
Oh, I don't know at that point.
Oh.
It doesn't say.
Okay,
When
sorry.
she admitted it, yes.
Right.
So they were a suspect. The next one were the names of Carl and Andreas S. In 1971, so 50 years later, a letter was found. I don't know where it was found, who found it, why it was found, anything, but a letter was found written by a woman named Therese T. So when she was 12 years old, her mom had a visitor. And the visitor was the mother of these two boys named Carl and Andreas. She said that her sons were the murderers.
Ooh.
She said that
Dun dun dun.
she had mentioned that Andreas was upset that he lost his pocket knife,
Oh, which was found.
which was found in the haystacks later
Guess he
on.
should have held on to it tighter.
Right, why
Or
would you
kept it
even,
in his pocket.
Yeah. But the former housemaid who had quit 6 months before the murders said she is sure she'd seen the same pocket knife.
She did see
On
the
the
same.
property.
She did see it.
Yeah, she said she is sure of that.
She's sure shit she saw it.
Sure,
That's
shit.
what I thought you were saying.
No, she's sure she saw it.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is. The next suspect is Peter Weber, a man by the name of Joseph Betts.
And not to be confused with the Bachelor contestant.
Yes. Worked with Peter in the winter of 1919 through 1920. Later on, Peter told Joseph that he admitted to knowing an old couple that lived in the Hinterkaifeck house with the daughter and 2 kids, which is true. Mm-hmm. And he knew that Andreas and Victoria were doing things mother and daughter shouldn't do.
They were doing the dirty.
During testimony for this murder, Joseph said Peter talked about killing the old man for his money, but no money was taken. So, like, are you just trying to set this man up? Or like, what? If the money was taken, maybe, but...
I feel this is a low suspect.
He didn't know all the facts because he would have known that the money wasn't
right.
taken.
Why would you even, like, bother saying that? There are 2 more suspects that are just kind of, like...
Random.
Yeah. Thaler brothers.
A lot of brothers.
Yes. Accused by the former maid, Crescencia. Yeah, whatever. They had committed prior robberies in the area, but again, no money was taken, so this wasn't a robbery.
Yeah.
But she claimed that one of the brothers, named Joseph, there's a lot of freaking Josephs. Yeah. Like, Joseph must be like the Bob or like, what's a John, like a common name. Like, everyone's name's Joseph. And it's with an F, not a PH.
Oh. Yeah, that's German for sure.
She claimed that Joseph he's one of the Thaler brothers, came to her window one night asking questions about the family, and she wouldn't give any information. She also claimed that he had mentioned before that he knew what room everyone inside slept in, and that he knew they had a lot of money. During this same conversation, where he told her that, there was another man with them having this conversation, and at the same time, in this conversation, can I say that word one more time? Him and the other boy that was there looked towards the barn and looked up, like, in the attic. So, which would have been where someone was hiding. But this bitch also accused another set of brothers. Honestly, I tried to look up how to Google this name, and it gave me Bitchler and Bickler. I'm gonna assume it's Bickler.
Yeah,
but Bitchler just sounds better.
I just wish it was Bitchler.
Yes.
These brothers need to get their shit together.
Yeah, but it's Crescencia again. She's blaming this other set of brothers, saying, like, they had helped around the farm before and made comments that the family should be dead. And
Jeez,
like,
maybe she did it. Why did
that's
she
what I'm
leave?
saying. She gets back up because she said she thought the house was haunted.
Oh, yeah,
because she was
that's
hearing the footprints in the attic. So she bailed. But now she's like blaming all these other people. So our last real suspect, Paul Mueller.
Mueller.
I did Mueller with an M.
I did say that.
Oh.
Mueller.
So apparently he's a German axe murder and serial killer who was said to have killed anywhere between 40 and 100 people in the U.S. between 1998 and 1912.
How many people?
40 to 100. This guy was never caught.
Oh my gosh.
Like, he ran. So he was from Germany, committed these murders in the U.S. In 1912, he disappeared. No one can find him. So it's rumored that he went back to Germany.
Right.
10 years later, this crime takes place. These are the bullets, like all the crimes that were supposedly tied to him in the U.S. He would murder entire families in isolated homes and areas. Murder weapon was always an axe. The victims were always hit in the head. He always covered the victims. Never robbed the victims. And after 1912 is when the U.S. caught on that they thought it was him, and he disappeared. It's saying he went back to Germany.
And this guy never was ever caught.
No, they never caught him.
They don't even know who he is.
No, they know, like, his name is really Paul Mueller, but they couldn't get him.
Caught him.
Like, he ran and they couldn't find him.
And he's still never been found. Louis, are you okay?
He's okay.
Nope, he's never been found. And now at the Hinterkaifeck farmstead is now a shrine. That's all that's left.
That's where the house was?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Back it up. It's Bone Clark.
And
That's
to this
it?
day, no one knows
That's
who did it.
it? That's it.
Oh, no.
Those are all the
It's
suspects.
the ex-maid. It's the ex-maid.
I don't know. The X-Men did seem a little sketchy, but I could see how the Paul Mueller guy, but that's kind of
Far-fetched.
far-fetched. Yeah.
But it also makes sense because all the things were the same, and he was from Germany, and he went back to Germany. I think it's Lorenz. I think he found out that
Yeah, I
Joseph
could see
wasn't
it
his
being him,
son.
too.
Found out because like he wanted to marry Victoria.
Yeah.
Andreas wouldn't let it happen. I think then he found out that Victoria and Andreas were sleeping together, and he was just pissed all around.
Yes,
Like
and killed them all.
I thought Joseph was mine. He's not.
Yeah.
I thought she was only sleeping with me. She's not. She's sleeping
Yeah.
with her dad. Her dad won't let us get married. Got to kill everyone at that point for
Yep.
witnesses.
But also, I said it's someone they knew. It's someone who has stayed there before.
Yeah, they have to know the house.
And like, did that Paul Mueller guy also like make himself a sandwich in other homes? Because then, if that is the case, then I would say it may be.
But
100%
also,
him.
Lorenz wouldn't have had to hide in the attic. He would have had a key. If it was this Paul Mueller guy who was running from police and like obviously didn't have anywhere to go in Germany, he hadn't lived there in years. What if he like was from that town, ended up in this barn just for a place to stay warm and dry, and
But maybe he was staying in the barn to not be so obvious or whatever.
what if Paul was in the barn the entire time but he didn't actually commit the
Yeah.
murders?
Oh my God, wouldn't that be crazy?
What if he was sleeping up in that barn and then Lorenz came and killed everyone?
Yeah.
He's like, shit.
I'm out. And he went through the woods. Yeah, but what about the guy in front of the woods sighting?
What if it was Paul?
The two guys with the lanterns.
One guy with a lantern.
Okay, but the two guys by the road then.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, true.
Maybe Lorenz and Paul work together.
Does Lorenz have a mustache? Does Paul Mueller have a mustache?
I don't know. I really couldn't find much on Paul Mueller. Like, I tried to
Really?
like Google him, and the only thing that came up was the Hinterkaifeck and something else they tied him to.
I'm going to say all these brothers, 8 of them, work together.
But like you said, it's like the old housemaid accusing all
I
these
know.
brothers of doing it. Like
Yeah.
she was starting some shit.
Yeah.
She was a hoe
Far-fetched.
for show.
No, Victoria.
No,
was a hoe.
Victoria was the hoe.
That's what I meant to say.
She was sleeping with everyone in town, including her own dad.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, that
that's-
was one of the other things. Like, remember when Andreas followed the footsteps into the barn and he said he saw the
Yeah.
impressions in the hay? Or, I'm sorry, when the police came, they saw the shifted tile roofs.
Is he okay?
He's got the inverted. Who's here?
He's okay. He's okay.
When the police saw the impressions in the hay,
Yeah.
Andreas might not have noticed that because that's where him and Victoria were getting it on, was in the barn.
Oh.
So when the
yeah,
police
yeah,
saw the
yeah.
impressions in the hay, they were like, someone was staying here, but Andreas was like,
Mm-hmm.
no, that was for me and my daughter.
Yep.
That makes sense.
But to this day, no.
That was a good one. But I'm glad you did it because I believe that's the one that Haley sent me.
And now that you say that, I think it is when you
Yeah.
sent me.
Listen, Paul Mueller has a mustache.
I mean, regardless of who the murderer is, who the fuck is Joseph's dad?
Yeah, that's what I want to
Yeah,
Like,
who
oh my
are these
God.
kids' dad?
Well, I also would
No,
like.
I think the daughter was.
I want clarification on
And where's
the daughter
Carl?
too, though.
and where's Carl?
Yeah, is he dead or did he not die?
I don't think he
Because
died.
then there was one site I read and like it didn't seem that legit, so I didn't say it. Like there was reports that later on people who went to war, like I don't know what war it would have been because it was after World War II, went to war, and there was a German, like he was from Germany, but he was like working for the other team. So if he was held captive,
yeah.
he was. I want to say they were in Russia. There was a German-Russian soldier who wanted to go back to Germany. And this was like a couple of years later. So they were like, maybe that was actually him. And he was going to go back and like murder his family.
Right.
It's weird.
I don't know. I think it's Paul Mueller or Lorenz.
I think it's Lorenz.
Mine is still the maid. She's a crazy, crazy girl. That's mine.
Yeah, ghost.
But if you're hearing footsteps,
Oh, yeah, maybe he was here. She was here.
It was-
Lorenz,
it was, or if it was Paul Mueller chilling up there.
or it was Lorenz where they were meeting to fuck.
Oh.
Or she's. Or
But it
if-
was known that they were in a relationship.
Yeah, I know.
Or if she's not it, she's definitely in on it.
Oh my God. She was in love with Andreas, was pissed because he was married and also sleeping with his daughter, and was like, fuck this family.
Maybe.
If I quit,
But why she gotta sit there and pinpoint it to all these
Because
brothers?
because she doesn't want to see, because she's
But
pussy.
it doesn't seem like they were really looking at her like that, though.
No.
You know?
No, she was never listed on the suspect list.
Yeah, so why do you need to throw out random names? I guess if you want to, like, throw it off, but, like...
Yeah. But that's it. Brutally
I feel like
murdered.
if you're
That was a good one.
throwing out names, you look more suspicious.
Yeah, you definitely.
Right.
do. Yeah.
I don't think she gave a fuck.
She doesn't, clearly.
Well, that was a good one. I've never heard of it.
Really?
Yeah, I've never heard of
I'm
it.
happy you did that one.
I have heard of that one. As soon as I started doing the research, I was like, oh, yes, I've heard this one.
I feel like I've seen the picture of the bodies, but didn't know the story.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures, but I never really knew the story. So I'm happy you did that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So Haley,
There's so
if
much
that
I
was
want to
you,
know though.
yeah.
Like, why did they go out to the barn?
Yeah, me too.
Why were they murdered?
That
Why
was,
the maid and the son though? Like, if
The
you murdered everyone
innocent.
out in the barn, they never would have seen you or known. So
know.
why'd you then go in the house and kill them when they were in their bedrooms?
the poor innocent ones and the
Right.
7-year-old? Why? What did they do?
Right. And
Yeah.
well,
That's
the
why I
7-year-old
feel
then
like
came out
it
and
had to
saw.
have been someone they knew.
Yeah.
Because if it was someone they knew, they could
would
have
say,
pinpointed
I
it on
saw
them.
so and so, and they
Oh,
did
yeah.
it. Yeah.
But why go in the house and then kill the maid and the boy? The 2-year-old is not going to know who you are. And if they didn't see you commit their crimes in the barn, why would you go kill them? You could have left and no one, the maid probably wouldn't have even
Right.
known.
True.
I don't know.
I feel like if it was Paul Mueller, that's what he would do.
You're just like, fuck, I don't give a fuck about this
He
family.
would leave. He wouldn't
Yeah,
kill
it
the
was
other ones. No, if it was Lorenz, he would kill them all, and that's what he did because it's Lorenz.
The maid's first day on the job and she dies.
I know, poor thing.
Oh, the sister was probably so sad.
I know, I was just thinking that. The sister's probably like, oh my God, I left her there.
That's so sad.
Such a bad sister.
That's a good story.
Still never solved.
All right, are we ready to go play a game now?
Yeah.
Okay, we're off to go play Catch a Killer. It's Mystery Party Catch a Killer, The Murder of Abigail Ross.
Ooh, Abigail.
I thought it was How to Hunt a Murderer.
That's one of
That's
the
a different
brands, but
brand.
this is
Oh.
a different brand.
I've
So
been telling
this one-
everyone that's what I'm about to play.
But it's the same thing. They're all the
Sorry.
same thing.
Yeah.
However, we cannot do it on air because we cannot give spoilers, but we will talk about it sometime soon. So that is what we're going to do is now go fill up our glasses with some sangria.
Oh,
and
I was telling this
Ooh.
story.
play
So,
a game.
Let's do it.
toast to Germany.
Toast.
Yes.
And our one listener, I hope I did justice. If we got anything wrong, please email us.
Thank you. Okay.
Woo!
Cheers.
Okay.